Hi there. Welcome to this quick tutorial on setting up the Virtual Biometric system in uKnowva HRMS. Whether your team is remote or you just prefer a software-based attendance system, this feature is perfect for you. Let's dive in and get it configured step by step. First, head over to the Set Attendance Process section in your uKnowva HRMS platform. This is where you'll configure your attendance management system. Now, if you're not using a physical biometric device, the Virtual Biometric system is your go-to option. It's simple, secure, and doesn't require any extra hardware. Here, you'll see the question: do you want to use the Virtual Biometric system? If you do, click on the option that says, Yes, use Virtual Biometric system. This activates the system for attendance tracking with the default settings. Once you've activated it, click Edit to fine-tune the settings if required. Click an option called View and Configure to adjust the default settings for the Virtual Biometric punch-in system. Let's break this down. First, you can specify which users should not be allowed to use the Virtual Biometric system. This ensures only authorized employees can punch in. Next, in the Device Settings section, you can choose which devices are allowed for punch-ins. You can either allow all devices or restrict it to specific ones for added security. Next, you can decide if employees need to add comments or plans for the day while punching in. If you select Yes, they'll have to fill this out. You can also choose whether punch-ins need approval. If you enable approvals, you'll need to select who the approvers are and even set a default approver. Now, let's talk about notifications. You can choose how approvers are notified via email, uKnowva HRMS notifications, or both. This keeps everyone in the loop. Next up, define how long users stay punched in before being automatically logged out. You can also set a minimum punch-in time, like 1 minute. If users go offline, you can choose whether they're automatically punched out if offline. Now, select channels to send the Virtual Biometric notifications through, like via email or uKnowva notifications. Oh, and don't forget the Smart Punch-in reminder. This nifty feature sends employees a notification when it's time to punch in. No more forgetting to log your hours, especially when you decide which calendar events to mark with these punch-ins. Now, let's talk about location tracking. If you want to make location tracking mandatory during punch-in, you'll need to input your Google Maps API key. You can also choose to display team locations and track each reportee on the daily attendance report page. Then, decide if users can skip the punch-in process. Locate each team member's location at the time of punch-in with the next option as you toggle it to Yes. Finally, decide whether to mark the punched-out employees absent by toggling this option to Yes. Click the Advanced Settings next and begin to specify static IP addresses where Virtual Biometric punch-ins should be displayed. Leave it blank in case if you want to make all IP addresses acceptable at punch-ins. Next, you get to define the IP addresses where punches won't need approval, making it easier for certain locations or users. Plus, you can list users and locations exempt from approval, including geographical details like latitude, longitude, and radius. Lastly, you can enable the system to normalize punch-out times based on the last recorded timestamp for offline users, which is super helpful if users face connectivity issues. Now, if you decide the Virtual Biometric system isn't for you, simply click No, don't use Virtual Biometric system. Or, if you want to come back to this later, just click Skip. Once you've made your choice, hit Confirm and proceed to move to the next section. And that's it. You're all set to configure the Virtual Biometric system in uKnowva HRMS. Thanks for watching, and happy configuring!